to the app, they'll have their 3 kids and what buses they ride instantaneously on the app. So those are the things that we're trying to do, is simplify those headaches that happen at the beginning of the year. I know you saw the recent news report. There's a principal that's driving a bus as a sub on a bus. So eliminating those problems. I don't want to call out Mr. Bruno, but he's been driving a bus several afternoons. So him and Mr. Chevalier have had to drive buses in the afternoon. That makes no sense. So just trying to streamline that process so that we'll have the extra drivers in the event that something happens, and just making it just super convenient for parents as well.
Plus, the kids that are getting picked up at 6 o'clock in the morning and dropped off at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you can close that window, considerably on both sides. I was one of them, get picked up first, dropped off last.
The software is going to, one, streamline the routes, and as well as that is streamline the time that's in between the routes. So that's all going to be automated. We just plug the routes that we have in, is going to do it based on addresses and determine the best route for the bus drivers to drive. So.
Is that the same company that's giving our IDs?
That's a different company.
It's a different company.
Different company?
Yeah. But
They do talk to each other.
They do talk to each other.
When would this take effect?
The training would start sometime, I guess, once we get the approval. But again, we don't want to try to rush this in because it's going to take time to make sure that that's efficient. So hopefully we're looking at maybe the start of the next school year to have everything ready to go.
What did Ms. Tina Pierre say about it?
Well, Ms. Tina's on leave, so
Okay.
we haven't communicated with her. We've talked to Mr. John Chevalier, so he's aware of, this system that we're planning on putting in place.
So you said J Campus would have something to do, because when I talked to Mr. Kevin, he said that they could do the routes. That's what he told me.
Yeah, I don't want to comment on that.
Ms. Christine can kind of elaborate on that.
So I can elaborate on that. So J Campus can help, like you explained. J Campus can help, but J Campus is not a routing system. So what they're asking for is a routing system. And so I can come in and say, hey, here's all of the children and here's the route that they're on and the bus that they're on, so that your schools see all of the information and help to, along with it. Basically what it is all of these systems will be tied to your information system. So because they're all now together and not, like you said, in paper and this piece and these pieces here, they're all be talking together. And now you have a better system for more efficient and optimized routing. That does the routing. Transponder does, sorry, what's the name?
Transfinder.
I said it right. Transfinder is your routing system. It will feed, those routes will feed to J Campus. J Campus can then tie it to the buses, which now communicates with both your IDs and your Zonar and your schools.
I would just like to see how it really operates, like maybe at an educational meeting, so we could actually see how
That's a
it's
good
put
idea.
together, because just like getting this, because we got the card and seeing like that's not working.
We can get
And then before, when we had Miss Tina Pierre before, we had another system that we just put in a corner, and that didn't seem to work either. So I think maybe
I
just,
did operate.
huh?
I didn't operate.
Well, they never used it.
We can get it's a great idea. We can get the vendor to come in and do something at an educational meeting, just so that y'all can see exactly how it operates. I'll give you one example. For example, let's say this afternoon we had a bus that broke down or the bus couldn't do their route. It would instantly take those children, put them on a buddy route. It would send that information to the school, and then it would update with the parents and tell the parents, hey, little Johnny's riding bus 321 instead of 301 this afternoon because their bus broke down. So it would instantly send that parent a message so that the parent would know. It wouldn't be a matter of us trying to send a J call out or trying to get on the phone and contact parents and say, hey, your child's regular bus isn't running. So that's one of the things that I thought was just.
And it ties to Zonar, so you know exactly what that child has scanned in and is on the bus.
When will this go into effect?
The start of the next school year with proper training. We don't want to try to rush to put this into place. You want to make sure that everything is done correctly, that the routes are efficient, that the bus drivers actually know what their new routes are, what turns they need to make, because what this software does too, if there's a particular road that it's a turnaround or they can't go down the road, it makes adjustments for that as well. So I just, things are, it's not on wood, things are really running very well right now. You don't want to put a kick in that and just make sure that we have this ready to run in the next school year.
So how soon will we need to put it into effect to get it ready for next year? In other words, what I'm saying is, okay, this is gonna take a lot of moving.
Yeah.
Once you get it, you gotta have JPAM Headgear come in and input all of the kids in there.
Well, the kids are already in our system. The biggest part is getting the approval for us to be able to begin working with that company. And then our transportation department is gonna start some online training with that company, because a lot of the work that's gonna be done is gonna be done from our side. So we want our employees to be able to be trained so that they can do a lot of the work, which is, as Ms. Casey mentioned, is gonna save us a lot of money. So,
Do you think?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So this is just for discussion right now, right? We don't have to vote on this right now, we could wait to see.
my recommendation would be to vote on it now so that we could get the ball rolling.
I would say let's wait a while, let's wait till next month and really see what it actually does in the educational meeting, to see, have Christina come look at it, because she's gonna be the one that's really inputting, everything, it's her area. If she's not there, I think she comes back next month, right?
I believe she comes back next month.
Right.
But
So I would say maybe wait one more month, it's not gonna hurt us.
It could.
Well, it could, because if you want to implement it for the start of next school year,
I would
we
think
have
1
to
month.
I was
start.
gonna ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why let's do it maybe after Christmas? Is that too
That's
quick?
true, too.
There's just a thought,
Yeah.
Maybe we can reach out to the guy and
And just
determine
see.
whether or not, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't wanna put
Yeah.
That's
stats
why
on.
I'm saying, why not,
Let's look at it.
let's put this thing to effect, let them put the information in, let them do a test run on it, get the routes and stuff done, and if it's feasible, we could start January.
Kind of have that, maybe.
If it's, you run it and see what it does, what it entails.
How many companies y'all looked at like this? Is this-
Two,
Maybe 2 or 3.
Okay, just make sure that, I'm willing to start today, because when you have the guy, your person in charge of child welfare and the person in charge of transportation and maintenance driving a bus every afternoon,
there's a problem.
there's a problem.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Fulton to accept, second by Mr. Dodaro. Let's vote. Motion passed. Item 3A, I'm sorry, consider and or recommend action with regard to years of experience for non-certified teachers. Mr. Abel.
Thank you, Mr. Clay. When previously we talked about non-certified teachers, I thought non-certified teachers had a salary schedule that they would get their years of experience. Like if I'm teacher A and I teach 2 years, I'm not getting anything built up as far as until I get certified. And I personally think it kind of gives a bad impression to our teachers who are trying, as long as they're trying to pass that test. So I talked to Mr. Wilson, I also talked to Casey, to possibly come up with a schedule, just like what we have for everybody else. Like, and I brought the one that I had at my house. You have the teacher's schedule, you have right here, early childhood, you have the cafeteria, you have the secretary. Everybody has a schedule, but we don't have one for a non-certified teacher. Now, we're not trying to promote being non-certified, but I still think, just like what we did with them, we reduced their pay by 5%. Maybe take the salary schedule of a teacher and maybe reduce it by the 5% right here, and then we have one for them. And that's what I was looking possibly do. And for the people this year, starting this, now I don't want to go retro pay, but for this school year, after it's approved and everything, if everybody agrees, to have it come back to the board next month after Casey and Mr. Wilson put it together, because I spoke with Casey in detail because she's the one that handles the money, and I asked if it was feasible. And we looked at several different options, and the 5% is very feasible, but it still gives them a reduction in their pay to encourage them to go out and get certified.
I got a question, is this college, graduates, is this?
I would say college grad. I mean, what do you think, Casey? And Mr. Lewis?
In other words, is this a degree person or?
I would say a degree person.
I think most, and I can't speak to.
I have information on that. So once they do get their certification, they do get, so if it takes a college graduate who has a degree in another area.
Right.
If it takes them 3 years to get certified, the minute they get certified, they get the 3 years of experience. They jump on year. They're getting experience with the retirement system. So even though they're not moving down our schedule, they're still getting the experience with the retirement system for those years.
And you see, if they're getting experience with that, then we should be giving them something
But
in our system.
they're still, the experience is counting as a year's credit with the retirement system. What you are talking about is, it's an increase in money every year.
Right, just like with everybody else.
So other districts don't do that, and the ones that does is Iberia, and they're $8,000 less. So we don't really have an incentive when you're looking at $2,500 less if you're still gonna move them up the salary schedule.
And then we might want to look at a different number then.
So I'm just saying that right now, that's also an incentive to get them to get certified. And as soon as they do, we put them on that salary schedule. We give them that increase in pay. It's just another incentive.
And
If you take that away from us, we really just have $2,500, and that's not much motivation to go and get your certification.
It is, because when I see some of these families, and again, not calling anybody out, but I know of a family that has, they're both in education, so that's basically $100,000, and they have 2 children, and they live simple, and it's hard for them to survive. That's my big catch, and 100,000 is a lot of money, in my opinion. But at the same time, to live in this world today, it costs. Just go to the grocery store, and that's what my big kick is.
I agree, Ms. Daver, but the problem is, the people who are doing the right thing and spending the money to get their certification, they're taking out of their pocket every month from that $100,000, if it's a family, to make sure they're doing the right thing and getting certified. I think we have some certified teachers in here, and it's a little disheartening when they went and did, some of them still have student loans.
I agree, and listen, I'm not knocking that, because I had student loans when I went. It costs. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to run anybody off, because the last time, if you remember, we started out at $12,000 to cut the teacher's pay. And the first thing that came to my mind, we're trying to encourage people to come into the education field, because it's already hard enough to get somebody to go to college for that. And we're going to run them off. And that's what I'm trying to prevent.
I think we're very competitive with other districts, and especially when you look at Iberia, they're giving them a year's credit, but they're deducting $8,000 from the top. We're not deducting that. And a year, when I looked at it, is about $400 on the salary schedule. It's about $400 a year, which I know it doesn't seem much, but it's $2,500 plus $400.
And the ones that, once we put the policy in place with the reduction in the 2,500, Julie can kind of piggyback, we had a number of people who instantly were able to get their certification. So it was a motivation, and what happened is they were instantly moved over back to that regular certified scale. So it wasn't something that impacted them because they went and got the certification. I don't know if it's a motivator, but it's something that actually helped to get them, to work towards getting that certification.
But how is it that we can give custodians, secretaries, cafeteria workers, everybody a bump in pay because they have their year of service? And the ones that we depend on the most, which is the teachers in the classroom, and we're not.
You have to understand, you have to be certified.
I agree.
And it's not right for a person to come in with 10 years of experience and not certified and get the same pay with me that I passed the test to get the money.
That's
It's
why
not right.
that's what I'm saying.
But you're looking at custodian and all of that, but some of them, they didn't go to college, but teachers are different. You have to take that test to be certified, to get certification money. And it's not right because they have a lot of teachers that's uncertified, and they might have 10, 5 years, but they cannot get the certification money from the state. So it's not right. The person just have to teach, if you're working in a private school, you get social security, you get that. So no matter if you leave from a Catholic school and come in without experience, it's not right, you gotta go take the test, like anybody else that's certified.
One other point I'd like to make, Ms. Rocio just told me, she's in the need of a health and PE teacher right now. For her to get school performance score credit, there's now 5% that you can get from interest and opportunities. She does not get any points if it's not a certified teacher. So we need that incentive to get those, because she, again, if she does not find a certified teacher, she gets 0 points for class.
I'll put it on the agenda.
They really pay you certification teacher, that's how you get the state money.
I would like to see, I'm gonna make a motion, if I have a second, fine, if not, no big deal. To have a salary schedule brought up for a non-certified teacher, and let staff draw it up.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Abear, ready a second? Second. Second by Mr. Frederick. Let's vote.
Let's see. All right.
Motion passed. Motion to, yeah, motion by Mr. Poche. Second by Mr. Poche. Meeting adjourned.
It was a regular board meeting of October 2nd, please come to order. Mr. Wilson, please lead us in the prayer and pledge.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Dear Lord, guide us today as we make decisions that will affect our students and staff. Let us work together for the betterment of our system and all involved in it. In your holy name we pray. Amen. Amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any announcements, acclamations?
No announcements or acclamations at this time.
Southern Script?
Yes, Southern Scripts Employee of the Month is Mr. Jax Roberts, who works in sales tax. Miss Julie Lavita nominated him, so Miss Julie, if you come up at this time.
I nominated Mr. Roberts because in the transportation manager's absence, he's proactively managed transportation and routing. He's acted as a liaison during the magnet school leadership meeting, supporting transportation issues. He's helped with transportation for aftercare from the magnet schools. He's also improved the work environment. If you come in our building, we have new flooring and sales tax. He came on weekends and early evenings, he changed flooring. We had an area, Mr. Downs moved into an area in our curriculum department. Mr. Roberts brought his carpet cleaning machine from his home and helped clean carpets. Yesterday morning, I was here at 6:30. Jax beat me. He's here most of the time before anyone else. And with that said, Jax goes above and beyond. He embodies dedication, initiative, and collaboration, and he deserves this award as an exemplary.
Congratulations. Thank you. Right. Congratulations again. Thank you.
Any additions or deletions to the agenda?
No.
Any items to be removed from consent agenda to be discussed? At this time, I'll entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Abear, second by Mr. Stelling. All right, let's vote. Motion passes. Finance Committee recommendations. At this time, I'd like to recommend, get somebody to accept the Finance Committee recommendations. Do I have a motion? Motion by Mr. Clay, second by Mr. Marlin. Please vote. All right, motion passed. All right, with a new business, consider and/or approve Head Start Policy Council recommendation. New hire recommendation, Ms. Ogea.
It was a short meeting, but we did have a list of new hires that we are recommending for positions.
All right, do I have a motion to accept the recommendation? Motion by Mr. Richards, second by Ms. Vita. All right, let's vote. All right, motion passes. All right, next item is, let's see, citizens request to appear. Ms. Lachlan would like to discuss the reason behind St. Martin Parish School Board's lack of assistance from the Attorney General's office in its federal deseg case. Ms. Lachlan?
I don't really need to go up there. I'm gonna get to the point tonight, make sure none of y'all fall asleep or jump on your phones like y'all done
You have
so
5
many times
minutes.
before.
All right.
I'm gonna start off by saying that all of you took an oath when you took this position. In that oath, you promised to adopt the steps necessary to ensure that schools within the district are operating in the best interest of the children and citizens. You took the oath to protect all the children and citizens of the district, not a certain group of children, not the children of a certain area, but that in fact is what you have done. If y'all remember when Florida Knott told me, we let them have y'all kids so they wouldn't come after ours. Remember that, because there's been on a lot of videos before now. You all failed the children and citizens of this district miserably. You all failed to honor your oath of office. The very injustices that this case is supposedly fighting is exactly what is happening. The case is causing more segregation because parents refuse to be told where their children should attend school or will attend school. In turn, we are seeing many parents pulling their kids from the school system and seeking alternative educational outlets outside of this parish. We need tough leadership, and you and your current lawyers are not the answer. The Attorney General's office is willing to take over this case again, but you need to step up and make that call. Margaret from the Attorney General's office wanted to be here tonight, but had previous obligations. I know that all of you have her number, but if you don't, I can provide that for all of you, or whoever needs it, whoever decides to make the call to her. It's time for all of you to step up and do what is right for the children. Russell, in May, you told Stacy at the church fair that y'all considering getting rid of Hammond and Hammonds. Now's the time to do it. It's now October, so you once again have the opportunity to have the Attorney General's office fight for our children instead of bowing down like the current lawyers are so accustomed to doing. Your lawyers have been weak for the past 9 years, and so have all of you. And on top of that, you just all signed on for another 3 years of imprisonment.
Watch your statements.
Enough is enough.
I can bite my,
Call Morgan and let's get this taken care of. As many of y'all know, we are looking into other means of educating the kids of this parish.
nobody come talk to me like this in front of me. You're talking that word, and I don't like the way you say it, okay? First of all, you can do a better job, come take my seat. You can do a better job than me? You think you can do better? Come take my seat. Come take 14 seat.
You want to do something like we did
Apparently
with
people
this
didn't
beer? So, I am going to finish now. Y'all call Morgan, get this taken care of. We are looking into other means of educating the children of this parish. We've had school board members tell the parents that the money will not follow the kids. That is not true. We've also had board members telling parents that the DSED case will apply if we get a charter school. Our lawyers are aware of that, and they are taking that into consideration. And we've also heard that some of you know about it and are trying to get it in other areas besides the area that we're trying. That's fine too. I'm heading to Bessie board meeting. I got invited to Baton Rouge on next Tuesday for the Broussard charter. So we'll just invite the kids right over the parish lines into Broussard. So we'll have more of the kids leaving this parish. We already have 603 students signed up if the charter school gets rolling. So y'all are gonna lose many kids. So at this point, if y'all provided quality education for the kids, we wouldn't have parents scrambling to get out. They wouldn't be paying their hard-earned tax money to get out of this parish and put their kids in other places. It's time for y'all to do what's right. Get Morgan on board, get us out of this DSED case. Because if this continues, we will continue having parents pulling their kids out of this parish.
Your time's up. Thank you for coming. At this time, I entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Motion.
Moved by Mr. Abear, second by Mr. Clay. What? All right, we have one item to vote on, and that's the appeal of student A. We need to vote on staff recommendation or not. We have a motion,
Motion to accept staff recommendation?
all right, do you have a second? Second by Mr. Cliff.
I'd like to accept the motion that we give the kid 10 days and return back.
Do I have a second on that motion? Second by Ms. Vita. All right, we need to vote on the first, the substitute motion first. That's to give the kid 10 days, and that's it, right?
Yes,
Okay,
and return back.
all right, let's vote.
We'll go, yes.
You vote yes? Mr. Clay, did you vote yes?
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Clay voted yes as well. All right, so substitute motion passes.
That's 10 days or what?
10 days suspension.
Okay.
Oh,
Partial, whatever.
all right, motion to adjourn. Motion by Mr. Coaching to adjourn, have a second. Second by Mr. Clay.
Does that happen? I can't, this person work.